What's good with y'all, man? Man Down back with another video. So if you can't tell, today is 420. I've been blowing all day, so I'm a little fried. So excuse me if I have a few pauses in here during this story time or whatever. I'm a little baked. So, but anyway, we're gonna hop right in. So basically, if you couldn't tell from the title, this is gonna be the worst whooping I ever got as a kid. Now, I don't know very many white kids that actually got whooped. Most of the white kids I knew growing up, they got like yelled at or cussed out. They didn't really get whooped or like hit like that. But my black friends, they all knew what it meant when your mom said, go get the belt. They already knew. So now this story takes place a long time ago. Like, I'm probably like 7 years old. And I'm actually going to preface this story with another story. See, this is why I thought I could get off. Because my mom's had actually let me slip up before and cut me some slack. So now, she's working. She's a massage therapist. She worked from home. And so she had a client over and whatnot. And I had forgot something in the car. I don't know what it was. We had been out earlier that morning doing something. And I had forgot something in the car. So I asked her, can I go get the something out the car? And she's like, yeah, go ahead, whatever. So I go out to the car. And I'm looking for whatever I'm looking for. And as I have the door open, like a bee fly in there and start flying around. So I get scared because I had already been stung by a bee literally like 2 weeks before this, right on my toe. So I already knew that shit hurt, man. So I wasn't trying to get stung again. So I start freaking out. Instead of just opening the door and letting the bee fly out, I conclude that I need to roll down the windows. And in order to roll down the windows in this car, you needed to turn on the ignition. You just started it up. So I go inside, grab my mom's keys, start this car, and this was a manual car. So I start the car, and of course I'm not pressing down on the brake or nothing, and the car starts rolling down the driveway. I jump out the car, run inside, and tell my mom, hey, your car is rolling down the driveway into the street. She run out there, and luckily my neighbor had been like next door watering like his plants or whatever, and had seen like everything go down. So he had jumped inside the car and pulled it back into the driveway, and like he was like pulling it in right as me and my mom was running out. And so yeah, basically I already knew once she got done with this client, I was gonna get a whooping. So I go in my room and I literally start crying because she already told me what was up. So I start crying and I literally cried myself to sleep. And by the time she had got done with her client, I was already knocked out. And I guess my mom just had too big of a heart to wake me up with that ass whooping. So I'm glad for that. But it definitely made me think I could get away with this. So this takes place maybe a year later. I'm like 8, probably 8 or 9. And I had did some like little yard work from one of my mom's friends. Like I had just like pulled up some weeds or whatever, and she had paid me $20. So originally my mom asked me to hold this $20 so I don't lose it or whatnot. And if you know black parents, if they're gonna hold some money for you, you never seen it again. So I told her, you know what, I'm just gonna hold it myself. I'm fine. And the one thing she told me is do not bring it to school. And I said, okay, whatever. And so I had like this like puzzle box, and I put the $20 inside my puzzle box and I put it inside the closet. And I told my mom, I'm like, look, the money locked away safe. I got it in my puzzle box, whatever. I go to school. A couple of days go by, and this is like Thursday. Now, every Friday, they would have like this little school store in the elementary school I went to. So Thursday, they started announcing it like, oh, we're going to have the school store tomorrow. yada yada yada. And you know how these like little school stores, they always be having like, you know, the cool little stuff you always want as a kid, like the smelly pencils and like the, you know, cool erasers and just, you know, just a weird little corny shit you want in school, you know. So, you know, I'm thinking, oh, I got that 20 at home. I'm finna bring it in cash out at the school store. Because, you know, my mama was never finna give me no money for this, you know. So I never had, you know, the cool pencils or the new shit. So I'm like, now I got some money. I'm finna come up. So the next morning, I bring the $20 with me, whatever. And I go and I try to spend it. And the teacher, she already knew something was up. She was like, where did you get all this money from? You got to keep in mind, you know, this stuff is like 50 cents, you know, to $1, 25 cents for an eraser or whatever. So it's like, you know, kids you bringing like maybe $5 bills at, you know, at the most. And I'm over here bringing in a 20. So she's like, you know, where you get all this money in? You know, I'm like, shoot, like first, second grade or something like that. She's like, where you get all this money? I'm like, oh, well, it's mine. I earned it, blah, 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 blah. And she was like, oh, well, I need to call your mom, and she needs to come get this because this is too much money for you to be having. I'm like, thinking this whole time, I'm like, how are you going to tell me how much money is too much for me? Like, it's my money. Like, I earned it. So, anyway, she puts this money in an envelope, and she takes it to the office, and they call my mom and tell her, like, they're holding this money or whatever, and then when she comes to pick me up at the end of the day, she needs to come to the office and pick up the money. So she goes in, gets the money, and we get to the car, and she's asking me, so where did this $20 come from? And I immediately lie. I tell her, oh, well, this girl named Henrietta gave it to me. And she goes, oh, did she now? So she goes up to the school. I said, yeah, but I don't have a class with her. She's in a different grade or whatever. And so I'm just going, you know, spewing out lies. So she goes, when we get home and I look in that box in your closet, that $20 is still going to be there. And I go, yeah. So we get home and I'm trying to devise like a plan, like think of a way to get this $20 out of this envelope in my mom's purse and sneak it back into the box before she gets a chance to walk into my room. I'm just, you already know I'm fucked. So basically, we get home, she looks in the box, it's obviously not there, and she tells me to go get the belt. Now, I already knew what belt to get. Now, my mom had, you know, a dozen belts. You know, women, they always got a lot of, you know, clothes and belts and things like that. And so I already knew which one to grab. You know, when you grab the belt, you don't grab the skinniest one because you already know better. That's just going to make the punishment 10 times worse. You better just pick the good one the first time. So I grabbed this thick black Gucci belts, the old school one. This is the one that came out like 06, bro. Old school Gucci belt. I'll go grab it and bring it to her. And she goes, go lay down and go get ready for a whooping. Dumbass goes in here, and at the time I was still like wetting the bed and shit. So I would wear like what are they called? Pampers or whatever. Or pull-ups. That's what they fucking call pull-ups, nigga. I would wear pull-ups to bed, nigga, cause nigga, I'm like 7 years old. I still with the bed and shit, nigga. I put on these motherfucking pull-ups, and I put on like 3-4 pair of these bitches, so I had extra padding and shit. And my mom come in there, and she started whooping me and shit. And you know, you can tell like if you hitting something like. Obviously, like, if I took a belt and hit the edge of a bed and then, like, hit somebody's, like, skin, you can, like, tell the difference of, like, how it feels. So, it's like, she already knew, you know, something was up. So, she's like, what's in your pants? She makes me pull down my pants. Sees all these pull-ups I got on. Makes me take all of them off and gives me that whooping. Bare cheek, bro. Starts going crazy. And you know when black moms be whipping you, they be saying something between each like hit. They be like, why don't you motherfucking ever listen to what I'm saying. I'm gonna be, and they just be going crazy, man. So that's what she doing, bro. Like, bro, she was whipping me for like 10 minutes. I swear to God, just 10 minutes straight. But I learned my lesson, man, about lying and just being scandalous. Learned my lesson that day. So yeah, don't do what I did, man. Just try to finesse the system and then go and lie about it. Just just save your money, man. All I can say. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I got new videos dropping soon. I got a trip to the thrift coming out Monday, so make sure y'all stay tuned for that. And I'm gonna see y'all soon. Peace.